Harder Brunch presents Back to Adult Summer Camp.
Sponsored by Upland Brewing and Culinary Crossroads.
August 23rd through the 25th.
We have comedian headliners Kelly Collette and Dwight Simmons.
We got musical acts Draco, Sirius Black, Philosophy of Music, and Tuesday Atlas.
Activities like archery, canoeing, campfire, swimming, crafts. Don't forget to get your tickets at eventbrite.com.
Harder Brunch. Nope, we're not going to say that together, but it's Harder Brunch.
I'm eating brunch with my people though. The homie Dyke just cooked up a feast and we bout to eat it, bro. Fucked around and has to mix the lobster with the poutine. Daddy is rolling blue dream. Them boys got down a routine. It's Naptown culture, cooking 7 courses. Had to pass the torch and now I'm grabbing second portion. So sit back, relax, grab a drink and a smoke. It's Harder Brunch on the way and get prepared for the jokes. Whoa.
Hi, and welcome to the Harder Brunch Podcast. I'm your host, Dyke Michaels. With me, as always, my co-host, Thaddaeus Mckee.
Slappity pappity wank wank.
On the ones and twos, the wheels of steel, the sauce boss of Indianapolis, and the last bespoke dragon. Give it up for Zach Rode, everybody.
The scoopity doopity doop da.
There it is.
I love that.
And a very special first-time guest with us from Duke's in Indianapolis, Derek Hurt. Welcome to the program.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Very excited to have you on here because twofold. One, the rumor around the city is that you serve up some of the best fried chicken in Indianapolis.
That's what they tell me.
And two, you were one of my best friend's little brothers growing up.
Yep.
So I remember like coming over in high school and you'd be like playing with toys and stuff like that. And then I remember Chris saying like, "Oh yeah, like he's a chef now."
Yeah. He's deep frying 2 chickens at a time these days.
Ooh, double cluck.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So how do you go from little kid to chef? How did that happen?
What?
Yeah.
That's
What I missed?
That's the shittiest interview question I've ever heard.
So you used to be a kid and now you're a chef.
No, you're not.
grew up. How did you do it? Did your body just do that? Or?
Was it time?
I don't know.
Just like a really bad uncle that's been gone for a long time.
So what's up in the past 20 years?
What have you been up to?
Yeah. Get an English degree and you'll end up in a kitchen. That's the easiest way. I mean, yeah.
What were you planning on doing with that English degree?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, the same thing everyone does with an English degree that doesn't want to teach.
Yeah.
Get a degree and figure it out.
Yeah.
So
Well, you go overseas and teach with English degrees? Is that what it is?
you could. You could. Not
you
me.
didn't
I
really have
got
a
creative
plan.
writing, so even like a narrower market. Like
Ooh.
I tried out a lot of different angles in college. All the ones that lead with no jobs, philosophy, psychology, without being a therapist,
Yeah.
and eventually landed on creative writing, and that's why I ended up working in the food industry.
Yeah.
It's either with creative writing, it goes food industry or the news, right?
Yeah. Probably.
Yeah, like a manifesto.
Yeah. Either side of the news. Yeah, right. Yeah.
I just said the news.
What was your first like cooking job? Were you just working in restaurants like when you were in school and stuff?
Yeah, I actually worked at Jamba Juice initially in college, and then went to Pizza King, Real Pizza King up in Muncie, Yorktown actually, as the dishwasher and eventually line cook and prep guy. Then the one in Noblesville ended up being the expo dude, and just from there ended up at a catering company, dishwasher, and
Started back over as a dishwasher.
stayed back over, but I loved it. Dishwasher's the best spot in the house.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah, I love, dishes
Sounds
are
like
where it's
bullshit.
at. You'd think that. Dishwasher's where the pressure's not there. Pressure's all around you, right? You can get zen in the dish pit, man. You can just
okay.
you take your own time, take your own pace, get real like into it.
You're
Yeah.
just playing with water and dirty dishes.
Yeah.
Plus, you're very like you're the MVP. Like
Exactly. You're
people
doing the
really-
job no one wants
A
to
good
do.
dishwasher, people respect.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. I've heard there's like some like actually named dishwashers in Indianapolis that people.
No, they all have
respect.
names.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a crazy
Is that
fact
how
about
it works?
dishwashers.
They're real people.
Yeah, most of them are. Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't just call them dishwasher anymore.
You learn something new every day.
Yeah.
Now,
Back to the podcast.
I don't want to skip through this because you said something very important, and I want to get into it.
Yeah.
The real Pizza King versus the fake. So there is a divide in Indiana amongst the Pizza Kings, and it's a real Bloods versus Crips situation, right? It was like a bad family blood, right?
That's to my understanding.
Let's split the
Again,
two
as the
off.
dishwasher, they didn't give me like the whole rundown. They didn't let me into the inner sanctum of the Pizza King, so I don't know the secrets. But the Pizza King I worked for and the ones around the Muncie area are like all owned and operated by Pizza King, and the ones outside, I believe, are all franchised. Now that being said, they're not as fun. The like real Pizza Kings, the cool ones are the ones with the trains.
Yes,
but I believe those are franchised.
Yeah. Well,
I think
you're a West Sider, so that was
The
our
one in
Pizza King.
Avon.
The train.
Yeah, it's the coolest way to get breadsticks
Any
and a
other
drink.
Pizza King, I'm like, are they bringing my drinks on a train? Why
Is that
don't
the
we?
only
Yep.
one that did it?
No, I think there was. Someone told me there was another one.
There is another one.
We need a train here.
Yeah,
Yes.
a drink train.
A drink train or a whatever train. Gravy train.
Gravy train.
Yeah.
Dad, would you be willing to knock out a wall maybe and insert a train?
Now you have to knock out a couple walls.
Yeah.
I'll insert any train anywhere you guys want.
Okay.
Perfect.
We'll take you up on that blank check.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can we get a clip? Have you ever gone to the Pizza King?
So we had a Pizza King in Columbia City. I don't remember a train
You'd remember.
delivering. There was trains there, but there wasn't a train delivering your stuff.
If you're a child and your drink arrives via train, you will never forget that.
Yeah, it sticks
That's
with
true,
you. I can't remember last week, but I remember that drink coming on a train. Yeah.
I just remember it from like high school. Like anytime you had like in band when they ordered pizzas, it was Pizza
Yes.
King,
Nice.
and they had there was always in squares.
Squares.
Yep.
And it was always had the ground up pepperoni.
Yep.
Which
Yeah.
is the best kind of pepperoni.
The little
think it is
tiny
the best?
pepperoni.
No, I know it's the best.
Why is it the best? Because more flavor.
Yeah, there's more surface area, so the pepperoni to tongue ratio is a little more even.
Plus,
Doesn't fall off.
you probably get pepperoni in every bite too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, that was so good.
I just want. Can you take this picture off, Casey? I just want this train. That's all I can think about is how cool that train is.
LGBT
train?
Yeah.
It does say LGB. It's before the
It
T.
is the LGB
Yeah.
train.
train, right? That's the T in that one.
the T stands for train.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little known fact, another brunch
Yeah.
fact. The T stands for
It was the
train.
90s, yeah.
They just misspelled it occasionally.
So how do you, when do you get to Duke's?
I got to Duke's. I'm a musician also.
What kind of music?
Time out. Yeah. What musician?
Rock, indie, Americana, songwriter, one of those things. I don't know.
So you took your creative writing and threw it into some music, or
A
vice
little
versa?
bit. Yeah. So I was writing for a while too, but after college I kind of just fell off and really just did a lot of music instead. I do like audio production, recording, and that too.
Oh my gosh.
Here's the secret. I can do a lot of things, but none of them really well. Just a lot of things. Okay. Like, I do them all right.
Jack of all trades.
Jack of some trades.
Jack of some trades.
Jack of some trades. So I ended up playing there in Duke's 2021. I think New Year's of 2022. I think.
That's correct.
Yeah, that's correct. You know.
That tracks.
And then by February, they were looking for another sound guy. So I threw my hat in the ring trying to get out of the food industry because that was never my long-term goal. Like I can cook, and like I became a head chef at that catering company just because I stuck around long enough, learned how to do everything, and Googled everything I didn't know how to do.
Yeah.
Chef Google was my head chef. Like, just figure it out. I'm the one here. I got to do it. So, when it came time to like try to get out, that was my route. And they found out I had all this culinary experience, and they're like, "Well, can you also do some like a few shifts in the kitchen? I'm like, yeah, all right. Then new ownership happened in January, and back in December they asked me, hey, can you take over the kitchen? And I was like, yep. I love Duke's, and Duke's is about the only place I would be doing what I'm doing.
For people that don't know, explain Duke's and why it's so cool.
Duke's Indy was started in 2018 by a guy named Dustin Boyer. It was an old restaurant called the Ice House, which if you see any old guy that's like 50 to 80 years old, he probably knows the Ice House if he was like in this area. Okay. It's like, oh, we used to go to the Ice House all the time.
Yeah. Was it a dive bar?
It was restaurant. It's pretty big space. The owner built it to like replicate like an ice house, like from Texas, like an old like bar from Texas. So it's, I mean, this long, just shotgun style kind of building that's all wood, tons of neon sign, like really cool ambiance and atmosphere. And it was around 80s, 90s, and 2000s, but 2017 it was shutting down, and then Dustin Boyer, who worked at Sun King Brewery, ended up purchasing Duke's, and he was like, I've always wanted to do a honky tonk, like a honky tonk bar.
Can't leave that out.
Yeah.
We don't use slurs on this podcast.
A tonk bar.
Yeah, a tonk.
An H tonk bar.
A country adjacent tonk bar. And that was like, apparently it had been his dream for about 10 years. And when the Ice House was up for sale, he was like, this is a perfect spot. Ended up buying it, doing a little bit of renovation and everything. And then 2018 opened it as Duke's. I mean, it's a music venue first, probably bar second, restaurant third is kind of always how it was. The musicians that come through, like tons of national acts and stuff, and they're all really good, really cool people. Met some fantastic talents there. But then in 2020, a thing happened that affected a lot of the industry. Mm-hmm. I can't remember what it was, but it was a really weird time for anything and anybody in the food industry.
Tiger King.
Mm-hmm. That's it. Tiger King happened. Yep. Everybody was playing Animal Crossing, and Kobe O'Brien died. Did I say Kobe O'Brien?
Kobe O'Brien. Of the clan
Did
O'Brien.
I Irish him?
Kobe O'Brien.
Kobe O'Brien.
He really needed a friend at that point.
Yeah. When Kobe Bryant died, really hit the industry hard, and everything shut down. And that's when, going back, let's reverse that. The Irish Kobe part.
The Irish goodbye.
The Irish goodbye. I'm trying to talk about COVID without talking about COVID, and it's not going well. But when COVID happened, it really like hurt everything and had to kind of adjust everything. There was a death in the family of Duke's that happened around that time as well. One of the doormen passed away, and then kind of got back on their feet in 2021, and then Dustin passed away in 2021. Oh. Mm. So just as like everything was kind of starting to come back, he passes away, and Duke's was kind of left in this
and
like
that's his
limbo.
Dream. Right?
It was his
like,
dream.
Yeah.
It was his bar. It was his thing. Like
he's at the helm.
Yeah, he was the kitchen. He was booking the bands. He was running the bar. Like he was doing everything, and it just took a huge toll on him. I never actually met the guy, but I read a lot of his recipes and got to kind of know him through that, which is really cool.
Interesting.
Yeah, but when I came aboard was not too long after that, so I didn't really know. I was a late season addition. I'm like, season 5, like
right.
Yeah, like, oh, what's going on here? Hey guys, I'm just here to run the music.
Kind of like in The Office when Steve Carell
left.
Leave.
Yeah.
And then you're the Will Ferrell or whatever boss.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
more of a James Spader.
Sorry, I can only understand these things through Office.
Yeah,
Office references. Yeah,
I was the Robert California.
Okay, there it is. Okay, there you are.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because you took over. Like, can I ask? This is a personal question.
Mm-hmm.
Did they know that you were vegan when you were taking over, or was that something that was like a surprise?
No, they knew. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of places make you keep quiet about that.
That is, yeah. Especially honky tonks.
Especially honky
Yeah, for sure.
I don't trust no man that don't eat no meat.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
So no, they knew. The head vegetarian, the head vegetarian was in charge at the moment. The head cook at the time, she was actually vegetarian too.
Seriously.
Yeah. So after Dustin passed, there was no kitchen for quite a while. A few different like pop-up kitchens and stuff, but nobody like actually running the show in the kitchen. And then when Jailbird shut down, one of the cooks from there came on board to Duke's and took over, and kind of had like standard bar fares, some Southwest stuff, but like a decent amount of vegetarian options because she was vegetarian. That's kind of where that started too, having almost like a dual menu, kind of like the Sinking Ship did back in the day, which was the coolest idea. Just flip it over and it's all vegetarian.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of like that concept came from trying to like spin off that.
So is there still a large vegetarian component to it or vegan component?
Very much. Yeah. In fact, we've got a whole like separate vegan menu. It doesn't do the cool flip, but we got our own vegan / vegetarian menu.
Tenderloin. That's great.
Yeah.
I always liked it. I grew up in a vegetarian household, and I feel like everywhere you went, you got veggie burgers. Because especially back in the day, there wasn't a lot of like good, either products or people making stuff. And so I think it's really cool now when there's restaurants that not just like have a couple items, but like do a focus on it. And I've seen a couple bars that do a really great job. Especially
here in Indy, like, yeah, there's a good chunk of them that have a lot of good options. I completely lost my train of thought. This is great stuff.
I mean, the flip, I just want to say, I used to attend the Sinking Ship, and like, it was a, what?
No, nothing.
It was like, the flip was great,
Yeah, that's a great idea, yeah.
And like, going to that place, like, because I haven't been to Duke's yet, so I'm excited to go. But going to that place, like, you couldn't order anything wrong. Everything on the menu was good, whether you were a vegan or if you were a rancid meat eater. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so I'm very excited to go to Duke's and see that.
Are you going to get vegan stuff when you're there?
No.
Well,
I'm not going to start out with that. I'm going to start out with their chicken, and then I'll go to the weak stuff.
And that's the weak stuff?
I'm not trying to offend vegans. This isn't what I'm trying to do.
It's okay. I'm not the head vegan. I'm not the head vegan, so I don't take offense. It's okay.
I messed up, Dyke.
What's Tyndall?
Tyndall? Tyndall is it's a product that I get through What Chefs Want. It's made with vital wheat gluten and soy, so it's somewhere in between like a tofu and a seitan.
Okay.
So it's got a fairly chickeny texture, and it's pretty easy to work with. But like tofu, it's pretty bland, so you can just kind of season it however you want.
Okay.
Bread it up, deep fry it, which of course, like anything deep fried is just gonna be better.
Gonna be delicious.
Yeah. Backtracking, like when I came in and started working in the kitchen, there was no intention of me taking it over at any point until after Dustin passed. His silent owner had just been running it and not doing anything, and it was still in mismanagement, just kind of like floating around in limbo. Shows were still happening, but we were only open on show days. So, I mean, doors open, such a small window, you're not going to get any revenue. I mean, it's very... Yeah. And we were looking at... It was pretty close to, like, being shut down. And...
Was there anybody mad that you took over, or did you like have to like knock some people down to get to the top, or?
No, we were worried about that. Paige, the cook from Jailbird that I took the spot of, we were a little concerned, like, because there is a bit of an ego thing, like, and just pride in general, like, and I didn't want to be stepping on anybody's toes. That was never my intention. But honestly, I think it was a relief. She was like, no, like, you can take this over. It's less off my plate. Like, we can make a better team together.
I love that.
That kind of thing.
Yeah, that's really good.
And honestly, having her still like with me is clutch, because like she's about the only other one there besides myself that can run the line on their own. Like, it's a very small crew, very like tight thing, and she's about the only one at the moment that I can rely on. So losing her would have been pretty detrimental to me.
Right. From what I hear from the restaurant industry, like, people aren't that flexible all the time, because you got a lot of type A personalities. So it's really good that you had someone that was able to bring you in there.
Yeah.
When does the kitchen go from, you were kind of giving us a timeline, because I found it interesting. You were saying like it was the music venue and then the bar and then the food. Yeah. But I feel like now the food has definitely come up.
That was the intention of when ownership changed. And the new owner, Patrick Kennedy, came from welding, actually, of all things, and happened to be playing in one of the bands, happened to be in around the end of 2023, found out the place was for sale, and took a risk, took a jump, and wanted to invest and take it over. And, I mean, I had made my peace. I thought, like, this is it. I got to move on. He comes in, starts talking to me in November, December 2023, and that was his intention, was to make Duke's a destination spot for food. Not just a place that has food, but actually has quality food that people want to come out, eat, and enjoy, as well as enjoy a good show, feel at home, and just be very like comfortable in where you are. And not really knowing me, he took a risk. I've actually haven't even asked him, like, why did you go with me? Like, yes, I have more years of experience than anyone else there for this job, but he didn't really know any of my qualifications, really, other than just talking to me. And
you were the chosen one.
I guess so.
I mean, that whole story is so interesting to me, because like, you have this guy that his whole vision in life is to make this bar. Yeah. And he makes it, and he puts his whole heart and soul into it, and then tragically he passes away. And then you would assume under most set of circumstances that's the end. Yeah. Like, that's the end of. So to have someone else come by and go like, no, I want to continue this. Yeah. I want to keep going with this, and actually I want to try to make it a little bit better. I want to try to improve it, and like, that's really cool.
And that's the core people that we've got. They've done a great job. The bar manager that's there, and she does all the booking as well. Name's Amanda. She's worked in the industry for years. She's held it together. Like, after Dustin passed, she was there, and she's done a great job, like, keeping it together. Neil, the main sound guy that was there, like, he's fantastic. They did a great job, like, holding together this place that very easily could have just, after Dustin passed, just that been the last chapter. But they and a few others like helped it keep going just long enough that Patrick came in, and now we've started a new chapter, and like, we're all together. And not, unfortunately, like with Dustin, he all had it on his shoulders, and like, that's really tough. Yeah. But we've got a good crew that it's all of us kind of in this together, that share the vision and don't want to impede on like what he was trying to do, but like you say, continue it and make it as good as it can be.
Well, and like Dad and I, have you ever been in?
I've not been in, no.
Okay, first of all, we all need to go into Duke's, because I definitely want to try this chicken.
We have steak night, by the way. Steak night.
Steak night? What night is that?
Usually Wednesdays of every week.
Okay.
$15 steak. Where else can you get a $15 steak in this town?
I mean, you can't get a $15 Taco Bell.
So you're saying steak over chicken? Steak over the chicken?
On steak night.
It's special. We have the chicken every day.
Oh, okay. I guess
steak special occasion. Yeah.
A little turf and turf steak.
Turf and turf. Yeah.
What if we had our meeting at Duke's?
Oh, that's a great idea. Sloppy chickens.
Sloppy chickens for everyone.
What?
It's a great meeting spot. We have a lot of great tables. We also can rent out the room for any work outings if you need as well.
Would you be mad if we do
catering.
Pour water over your steaks or chickens?
No, but don't use A1.
Okay, don't
you
use
can water it down.
Water is fine.
Yeah, water's
we
fine.
can do some sloppy steaks.
Slop them up.
Sloppy steaks.
Slop them up, boys.
We have, in doing the show, Duke's does get brought up a lot, and so it's like something that like is part of the reason why I wanted you to come on the show, because I've heard a lot about the chicken. Yeah, and I've heard a lot about it being, it's just like, obviously you can fuck up a recipe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you can. So it's just like you being the the arbiter of this original recipe chicken and keeping it consistent, I think is very important.
Yeah.
How many herbs and spices are being used? Is there a count on them, or?
I never learned to count. I majored in writing, so
that's a good way to keep the secret. Is you just give it to somebody that can't count. So he's a numerate. We don't know how many herbs or spices are in there.
You just see
him in there
all
throwing them around.
all the fingers, but past that I lose track.
He just sings like the sonnet and then does.
Yeah,
it's the chicken song.
The chicken song.
That is how we figured it out, though, and try to keep it consistent. Is we fucked it up a lot.
That's good.
And that's the only reason I know how to do what I do, because I've fucked up a lot. I've screwed up tons of recipes. I've made some really bad food and done some really dumb things.
See, I don't have that here at Harder Brunch. Like, if I try to cook something and if I mess up a little bit, you're going to hear about it for years. And
it doesn't go away.
Your staff has the fortitude and kindness to keep going.
Are you talking about floppy sloppy pies?
No, that was never a mistake.
Floppy sloppy pies?
Yeah.
That was perfection. And
that was only rivaled by the sloppy bean
jealousy from these two campers not seeing, Thad might be a genius cook. You know those idiots who fonts, I think they're called?
Yeah, you're a fucking idiot Sufant for sure.
I don't know.
That's the name of the episode, by the way. Idiot Sufant.
I forget what it's called. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I just think I have perfect taste. Let's move on. You see, this is what I get.
But we went down to Nashville and we interviewed John Stamps. And when he spoke with almost like this reverence for Dukes, because it kind of like changed the trajectory of like his life from one genre of music to another. And so it sounds really cool. I've never done a boot scoot. I don't know anything about it, but it seems like a place, and tell me if I'm wrong here, where people that want to get real country and have a good time, but they
it's not that backwoods country bar where the record stops when you walk in.
It's
not that.
There you go.
They call it y'alternative.
Y'alternative.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
Did you just make that up?
No, I heard that from John Stamps.
Oh yeah, y'all.
That's good.
Episode we did.
That's fantastic.
Alternative.
Now that you've been in the kitchen, do you ever get to come out and do any performances? And
occasionally, usually not. Usually, like
keep the apron on.
Yeah, the chicken is a cruel mistress. It demands a lot. But every once in a while, I'll pop up there, especially for karaoke night.
Nice.
I'll usually do a little guest appearance.
How is lunches there? Because like I've noticed, I feel like across the board lunches, especially in the past like 10, 15 years, like people don't, I don't know if one is a combination of people not getting like lunch breaks anymore, or just the amount of like DoorDash and stuff like that you can get. But like I work at a place that does lunch, and I'm kind of surprised sometimes about the amount of people that actually do come in.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're doing something well, you can still do it. But like I see a lot of people that, I feel like a lot of lunch places have closed.
Yeah, I understand that. And Duke's wasn't lunch until I came back, or took over the kitchen for a long time. The Ice House, back before it was Duke's, the Ice House had great lunch business, and that's one of the reasons that guy started it, was because there's so many trucking places and like a trucking school, trucking facility, and like depots and stuff all around that area. There's no restaurants or anything in that spot, which is a plus and a benefit. We're removed from everybody, so people don't really know about us. We're off the beaten path, but at the same time, we're the only one.
Yeah, if you're out there, you're the only game in town.
Yeah. Those guys, for our benefit, like, they still, like, that's still about the only option. So they are coming in for lunch. It isn't as bustling as it was back, I'm sure, in the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, but it is still enough that's, like, okay.
Yeah.
Like,
get a nice, decent lunch crowd in there.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, let's take a quick Tinker coffee break, and we will be right back.
This week on the After Brunch Podcast.
The other comic was me 2 years in who's never tried crowd work before. Yeah. And so I go up on stage and I just like look at a guy that's like old in a button-up shirt. I'm like, you like model trains? Just absolute silence, and in 10 seconds I get buzzed off, and then Chris Harvey comes up, does like a good 7 minutes, and I have to come back up. And they're just like, all right, you try again. And I look at a guy, he has like sunglasses on the top of his head, he has his shirt tucked into his jeans, and he's just like, I was like, dude, you must like hit your kid if he strikes out at a Little League game, right? And he's just like, what? Why would you say that? Buzzed off immediately.
Join us at patreon.com/harderbrunch.
Can we start it out real quick?
Yep. Hey, welcome back.
Hey, welcome back.
Hey, welcome back.
Hey, I think I have a shame. Can I start out with a shame?
Shame.
Thank you. Yesterday we were selling tickets to summer camp at the Beer Fest, Microbrew Fest. It was a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. And this shame is, it goes to Dyke. It's not on me. It's a shame on Dyke.
Yeah.
On our fearless leader. He did a little bit of pandering, in which I'm not against pandering. As a comedian, you gotta pander. Like sometimes when there's a lot of women in the crowd, you say like, "Hey, like, you guys like babies and weddings?" Like, that's pandering, and and it might get a good response depending on who it is. There was a black couple that came up to us, and he says, "Hey, you gotta support black podcasts." I'm like, all right, not bad. All right, that's a little bit of pandering. And then he went and Biden out, and what I mean by Biden out, he ended up saying, "You lose your card if you don't listen to us," which is interesting. I don't know if you guys remember when Biden said, "If you don't vote for me, you're not black." He did this even worse. He said, "You lose your black card," which that was just their race. And it was embarrassing, Zach.
He revoked 2 more at the evening at the Garden.
Did he keep doing it?
He kept doing it. It was like he was on a power kick.
Oh goodness!
It was crazy.
Me.
One of them wasn't even black. Yeah,
they just walked away
looked confused and uncomfortable as hell. Yeah.
So my shame is taking away people's race.
Yeah, if I had my way, I would take away everyone's race and gender.
I think that's the solution.
You get nothing.
Oh, it's a peace situation.
Yeah.
It was what?
It's more for peace.
So we're all the same. We're all genderless.
You're not even thinking that way.
No, it was my mouth was just moving, and I was just like, yeah, I'm just saying words here. I was like, yeah, come on, and they were talking to Thad and having a good time, and I was just like, yeah, you got to support black podcasts, am I right? And they were just kind of like, yeah, I guess. And I was like, yeah, you better.
So they didn't react warmly to that, so you thought, well,
double down.
That's really
double down.
Is that like a go-to phrase for you, though?
No,
why was that what popped out?
I said, you got to, or we'll take your card. And then I was like,
and that's what I did.
Here's the truth. Wow. I didn't even think about what that meant. It just sounded, I was like, yeah, you have to, or we'll take, and then
or we'll get you.
Dad just looks to me. He goes,
I immediately distanced myself.
We will
not be doing anything like that. In fact, you get more cards if you don't listen.
It's not only is it something I've never said, I've never heard anyone say anything like that before.
This makes me feel a little better for trying to turn Kobe Bryant Irish now. This helps.
Well,
Kobe O'Brien.
Kobe O'Brien.
Sometimes a shame
Best basketball player from Dublin.
Well deserved. Before we get into the second half, I want to shout out to Culinary Crossroads, who's a sponsor of the adult summer camp happening this August 23rd, 24th, and 25th. Tickets available on eventbrite.com. They are bringing the World Food Championships to Indianapolis this November 8th through 12th.
Oh, we're holding it here this year.
Yeah.
Because
At my
of
house.
Culinary Crossroads.
Because of Culinary Crossroads.
Cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So they support us, we support them. I want to get involved as much as we can in the World Food Championships. Maybe do a little reporting, live from that. But shout out to them, and also shout out to Tinker Coffee.
Again,
Derek, you got a chance to drink some of this. Delicious.
I think I'm on my third cup.
Well, yeah,
it's fantastic. Yeah,
I'll tell you what. I made some cold brew. And it's cold brew is one of those things you always have to think ahead. Obviously, you know when you're gonna make it. And so we were doing an event, and it paired well with this coffee cake that Zach had made. And I was like, oh, I want to do a cold brew. And then I forgot. I ground all the grounds. I had all my filtered water. I was off very late, and I just kind of put everything in these bins. And then the next day, I was like, oh yeah. I gotta get all these grounds out of here. I can't just. So it was a whole to do when I got there, but man, I've just ended up with all this extra cold brew coffee, and it's great.
Heck yeah. Were you taking a pool skimmer to get the grounds out? Just
it was a process.
Yeah.
We had a chinois and some other stuff going on.
Now, do you like it hot or cold?
Usually, I'll start in the morning hot. Even if it's
good choice.
Even if it's hot, outside, I'll start off hot, and then if it is hot, I'll go cold later in the day.
Zach, hot or cold?
Lukewarm. And I'm serious about this. I usually a pot of coffee usually lasts me 2 or 3 days, and so I'll just go with that. I might make a new one and then top it off with a little bit of make it warm, but I don't like hot or cold coffee.
You don't like hot? Wow.
Yeah.
Dyke?
I like both. I love both, but I drink a lot of cold coffee because it travels better for me. I'd rather have in the car or whatever. I basically make a big thing of Tinker coffee every morning and keep it in my bottle, and then I'll drink that from 10 to 1 in the afternoon, and that's when I'm I probably should get some water in at some point. But yeah, I love it, and I love Tinker coffee so much. It was a nice change up to do the cold brew today. I was very.
I love it.
I get my fix in, but in a different form.
I feel like it hits harder.
100% it hits harder.
My heart's beating kind of.
Yeah, remember that day we all had so much coffee?
The coffee brunch. We put coffee in all the courses, and my heart was redlining.
Coffee gauntlet.
Yeah. At the end of the day, we were all just kind of in this impromptu planning session, and then I just realized
shouting at each other.
It just seemed like a cocaine party. It was just everyone was I was like, oh wait, we're all jacked
and
up.
you know what? We did really well. This is what we did really well today.
We've all just been eating and drinking coffee all morning.
And that person's never coming back. Oh, golly.
Even Dustin was super high energy.
Yeah. We've about made him relapse.
I haven't felt this good in years. Let's build a house. All right, it's time for our Smoking Goose brunch breakdown. Smoking Goose, you know them, you love them. They're located over there on Dorman Street. They got all the charcuterie. They got all the meats. Spoiler alert, we're going to be doing some sausages as part of something next week. Probably going to get them from Smoking Goose because they're delicious. What's your favorite Smoking Goose sausage, Zach?
I mean, it's the kitchen sink.
Kitchen sink, hands down.
Yeah, hands down. I love all sausages. I don't love all sausages. I love most sausages, but definitely the kitchen sink.
Huge fan of the kitchen sink. I like the fennel sausage a lot for soups. I made some soups for. I feel like soup is not Dad's favorite thing. So
wait, what?
When I make a soup, well, I feel like there's been multiple times this year I've made a soup, and you're like, this is surprisingly good soup.
Yes, I'm always surprised by your soups. That is true. Yes.
Soup's a deceiving dish. You kind of take it for granted. It's it's a soup,
Yeah.
And then you have it, and it's really good. It's like, oh shit, that's something.
And definitely there's some categories of food that Thad it's like a negative in the category going against it, and that one of them is vegan food, one of them is soups, and the salads are hit or miss. Yeah. He can be excited by a salad. You have to sneak one in on him, and then he gets excited about it.
I don't know what to say about any of that at this time. Like, I guess, who does get excited for vegan food if you're not vegan? That's my question.
That's why you got to sneak it. Yeah, I get it. I get it.
And name one salad fanatic. Like, this guy, we know him for the salad eating contest.
Johnny Salads?
That's a lie. That's made up.
Yeah. Jolly Green Giant.
The Jolly Green Giant. He was huge, too.
Big salad guy.
Okay.
Yep, big salad.
We had to go to fictional characters, which proves my point even more. I think I'm a normal human being.
What's the most famous meat person?
Joey Chestnut.
What?
He went to Impossible, though.
He's vegan now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on the Impossible Dog.
He picks the round
you
one.
really fucked up.
He just recently did that. All right.
That is true.
But let's forget what I like. Let's go.
On a
into
long
what
enough
you
timeline, everybody's vegan.
That doesn't even make sense.
Hey, you stop eating meat eventually.
Well, if we go to lab meat, and that's a great transition. We were talking about being a vegan and eating lab meat.
Oh, would you eat lab meat? Is that
consensual?
Like, what is your
what
is your like what's the crux of your veganism? Like, is it an ethical thing? Is it a health thing? Or
It's a little bit of all of it: ethical, environmental, personal. Like the meat, yeah, it doesn't really.
So environmental might
anymore,
be something that the lab grown doesn't quite check off that box because it probably takes a lot
of resources to make. Yeah,
but there would be no like the ethical thing.
That would be out of there. Yeah. The other would come into play as like taste and everything. It's like it's been a while since I've had meat, so I'm not exactly sure. Like
if you'd like it,
yeah, texture. I have had a 3D printed short rib.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
One time.
That's crazy.
It was pretty cool. It was pretty damn good.
But that's literally lab grown meat, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So that's I think
so
I'm
you would
okay
try
with
it because
yeah,
you did
try it.
I did try it.
I think I would because I did.
You did.
I want to do a lab grown meat brand based on my own flesh.
Come on.
Yeah. They call it the other white meat.
What parts of your what parts of your
He
flesh?
really just wanted to get that off.
Yeah, he did. That's why I stopped asking questions. There's no follow-up question.
Yeah. Have you tried the Zach? It's delicious. We have it grilled today.
So anyway, it's time for the Smoky Goose Brunch breakdown. Our first course was, just one of those boring ass salads you keep hearing about. The first course was a summer salad with some local tomatoes and local peaches, candied pecans, and then like a maple vinaigrette.
I don't think I've ever actually had peaches in a salad. It was awesome. I loved it. Yeah.
I was very excited. I really wanted to use like fresh local stuff, and I was like, I know we have a Irvington Farmers Market like over there by the theater on Wednesday, and I got a big bag of peaches, and I was so excited. And then I opened it up this morning, and I was like, I think I can save like 4 of these peaches.
How much mold?
It was not like a mold, but you know what a real vegetable does.
Yeah, when they go when a peach is perfect, like a day or two later, it's too late.
Yeah.
And I remember to make hot sauce with, I used to buy the bruised peaches from the farmers, and you get them at a super discount because they're just trying to get rid of them. But you got to deal with them very quickly.
Got to get on it.
Yeah, they turn into alcohol pretty quick.
Those peaches that I bought were supposed to be eaten that day.
Yeah.
And like when you get a peach at this, Meyer or whatever, that thing's been injected with all kinds of stuff so it could sit in your house for a week.
Yeah.
And be fine. But if it falls off a tree like a natural peach, it's like kind of like if you bake like a regular loaf of bread. Like we get like Amelia's bread and stuff. It's like, yeah, that'll be moldy in a couple of days because it's just real bread. You know?
You can leave hot dog buns on the counter for months.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Yeah.
This makes me sad.
But yeah, so it is, and relieving Thad from this, I will say there are certain things that for any group or any table, I know that soup is always not going to usually be the standout. I know that salads are not going to normally be the standout. I still love cooking them, and I'm still going to serve them. But I think the effort is the trick is all in like just trying to do something that's different. Like if you're going to serve a salad, I'm not going to just put 2 tomatoes and a cucumber on there and be like, here's the salad course. Try to make something that is a little different you haven't seen before, you haven't had in a while.
Well, that maple vinaigrette that went on top was delicious.
That was awesome.
And you made that yourself.
I did.
Yeah.
I made the whole thing by myself.
I mean,
It was really good.
it was super good.
Yeah.
Like you're like, where do I buy this at the store? You know, because like I would eat salads a lot more if I could have this on here.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'd eat salads a lot more if they were made with candy.
I about walked out. That was super offensive. I'm just giving you a compliment, saying you're doing a good job, and you turn it all around and make it a diss.
No. And then Zach, you had the next course.
I did tacos 2 ways, calabacitos, which are just squash with some sweet corn, and then guacamole, and then the other one had spiced cauliflower with pickled red onions and guajillo cream.
Well, what all was going on in that guacamole?
Yeah.
So I mean, I use pickled jalapenos, and then I use the juice of that in
Nice.
there.
That's what it was.
Kind of like half that, half lime juice.
Cool.
And then just very simple, like the avocado, cilantro, a little bit of tomato and onion.
Yeah, it was excellent.
Had like a bite,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, just enough to kind of like brighten it up, pop it out. Great.
I'm not gonna lie, even like cooking I was like, vegan tacos, you know, they never hit the same for me as like a meat taco. And I took the first bite and I was just like, yeah, vegan. And I was like, man, I want seconds of this.
Yeah,
It's so good.
it was really good. The squash was excellent. Had a really good like crunch to it. Love
Thank
that.
you.
Yeah.
The third one was just a hummus, and then hummus and falafel, kind of straightforward.
Very bright hummus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went hard with the citrus.
Lemon.
You get that zest,
Yeah.
yeah. You get that zest.
nice.
Oh, extra zest.
Yeah.
You need a little pucker in your hummus.
Yeah.
Man, a lot of times when I eat hummus, I get this tingly feeling. I didn't get a tingling feeling from this hummus. I don't know if you've ever eaten a lot of hummus and your tongue starts to itch a little bit.
Oh no.
Sounds like an allergic reaction.
That does. That doesn't sound natural.
You know, sometimes you eat hummus and your throat closes off.
Yeah, you can't breathe. You got to go to the hospital.
So yours didn't do that. That's
Parents
good.
start freaking out.
That's really good news.
That's good.
Yeah,
it's
yours
good
is
it didn't do
hummus.
that.
Every time I eat hummus, you get the EpiPen, jam it into your heart.
You get the doctor saying you really shouldn't be doing this anymore. Yeah, I've learned by now. Stuff like that.
Classic
Stuff.
hummus.
Yeah,
Classic hummus.
freaking hummus.
Yeah, hummus was, man, there's certain things I feel like, there's certain things when you learn how to make something, you associate it with that time in your life. And I was like 18, working at camp in the kitchen, and then it was like my boss was also my friend that I would just hang out with afterwards. And it was right when like Survivor first came on. Ooh. And so we'd have these like, we started like just watching it just because it was on TV, like on our night off or whatever. And then like 3 weeks in, we're like all in. And this is like before reality TV shows had, you know, become like a huge thing or whatever. And by the end of it, we were always making like little hummus plates and stuff. But by the end, it was like half the camp staff was in there watching, and we were just all eating hummus. And just like, oh my, what's gonna happen? Is this person gonna eat a rat? Oh my god, this is crazy. I was all in at the very beginning of reality TV, and every time I make hummus, it transports me back there.
Is it unhealthy? How unhealthy is hummus?
Unhealthy?
Like, how much hummus can I eat before people are like, you might die?
There's a decent amount of oil, but
Yeah.
it's fairly like it's high protein because it's chickpea.
A lot of carbs.
It's better than like the same volume of just bread or something. Like what you're eating with? If you eat a lot of
Like
pita
a
bread
bowl
with
of hummus.
but if you just ate it with some vegetables, that'd be really good for you.
You take you can take like a cucumber, use it as
A carrot,
a carrot.
a whole pumpkin.
Let's get Dyke's hummus. Let's get Dyke's hummus on board, because here's something that you can do.
talk
If you
to
can
it,
make
or-
soup, you can make hummus. Right? You make great soup.
Hummus soup?
He is redeemable. He could do soup well.
No, I'm saying Dyke is a soup king. I've never had any better soup in my entire life.
That makes sense.
And I don't say that just to pander, I guess. But what I'm trying to say is you could make different flavors of hummus. You could make a spicy hummus.
Dessert hummus.
Yep.
Gross, but I believe it could happen.
Yeah.
A chocolate hummus?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, they got that.
A pizza flavored hummus?
Yeah, hummus.
Yep. Hummus.
You never had hummus before?
Delicious.
Chocolate hummus is hummus?
Gotta
Creamy
rethink that
chocolate
name.
dessert hummus. I
Yeah,
saw it
yeah,
on there.
Ice cream hummus?
Yep.
Lemon hummus.
Lemon hummus.
Carrot. Sriracha carrot.
Harder hummus.
Snickerdoodle
hummus.
dessert hummus. Right there.
Snickerdoodle dessert. Yeah.
Apple hummus.
Apple hummus.
So yeah, let's get a harder. If you guys want a harder hummus,
Yeah.
Vote right now. Text our phone numbers if you know them, and say we want more hummus.
If you guys want to vote right now, just go outside and scream. Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll be listening.
we always are.
And then the dessert.
So I made Hungarian coffee cake with a cherry glaze and a pecan granola. And that's what I did last night for Evening at the Garden, too.
Also known as...
Also known as monkey bread.
Yeah, or pull-apart bread.
Yeah, that's just the fancy name for it.
That might have been the best dessert I've had in like months.
Thank
It was
you very
really
much.
good. Really good. All of it was great. The presentation on the falafel also. Ooh.
Oh, thank you.
Picture perfect.
So we did the same dessert last night at the event on skewers, and there was something about, I mean, it was great last night, but there was something about just being pulled straight from the oven and served, and just eating it like when it was still warm, like the original warmth,
Yeah.
of it. I was like, oh my god, that's a problem dessert right there.
Yep.
That's something you have to watch out for. That's not as good for you as the hummus.
No,
Yeah.
I figured that out.
It's
on
very close, but
my third tasting.
How many of these cakes can I have before they call the police?
Did you wish you made more?
what do you mean do I wish I made
Like
more?
you're like, oh wait, I could take this to my family. I feel like you could make a lot more friends with your food.
Oh, do I have an issue there?
I'm not saying you have an issue there. I'm just saying
Like, for somebody who makes such good food, nobody likes
no
you.
one likes you.
And I think you would really do some work. If you came with donuts every time, then people wouldn't say you're much of an asshole. Yeah, no, I've thought about it. But
I'm just saying you could.
I'd rather be hated than loved.
I'm just saying you can go back to your house. Okay.
Do you ever think about not being a loser?
Yeah.
I'm saying you could go to your house and you say, "Hey,
I do make food
Daddy's-
for you every week.
Dad-
What do you mean?
Yes, Daddy's got some monkey bread, and then
Oh,
you
he
go
wants your family
other-
to like you.
and then you could go to other places. And
Yeah,
like,
my family
try
came out last night and had it live.
Okay.
And I'm bringing some of it home.
I'm just.
I've got a
saying,
to-go box.
I was just trying to say it was good. Okay.
You think this monkey bread could save your marriage?
I'm just saying it was great.
That's a good tagline. You could sell it.
Man,
Monkey bread
bread.
that saves your marriage.
Yeah.
If just a sign on a table, could this monkey bread save your marriage? And then have people come up.
I'm like, oh my god.
They start out there hating each other.
Guys, we need to really come up with marriage foods.
Ooh.
And like just
marriage
counseling
saving
foods.
meals.
Marriage saving meals. Ooh, a cookbook.
Very good.
Blue Apron kind of deal where you send like you have to do this together to
Yeah.
cook it.
Hey, did your husband or wife cheat?
Uh-huh.
Try it.
Yeah, they're themed.
Only one
they're
of you-
definitely themed.
Oh,
yeah.
forgiveness.
Ooh.
theme.
Forgiveness
Yep.
themed or
Yeah.
like
Communication building.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Letting,
Sorry, I came on your face.
Yeah.
letting
Like,
go.
that's a whole box.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's outside the box.
Yeah.
Hey, there we go. Yeah, like some horny hummus.
Horny hummus to make you cummus.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Zach's been a real dirtball this second half of this. I don't know why we're working so blue today.
Sorry, and I hope Dukes doesn't fire you for this episode or.
Oh, we're a
Yeah,
honky
so-
tonk. We gotta, we're
good.
scooting rowdy and I don't know, Roadhouse something. I don't know.
I would like to come and play there. By the way, I'm gonna
Please.
come up and do my rendition of Rihanna "Turn Country,"
Okay.
and so my
Yeah.
country versions. Of
I've
songs.
heard you do a lot of stuff. I've never heard you go into the country realm. I'd be excited to hear that.
Like name any song, and I'll do it 3 seconds. right
Monster
now.
Mash.
It's a monster mash. Oh, a great old smash. I'm talking monster mash. Give me that cash, oh monster mash.
Okay, I'll have you on
That's
Wednesday,
the-
man. I don't do the booking, but you're in.
There we go.
That was pretty good. What about they're not like us?
They not like us. They not like us. I'm talking them niggas. They ain't like us. You gotta throw it in. This is real honky tonk.
This is real.
You gotta sound.
That makes sense.
You see what I'm saying? Just stuff like that. You guys should see me on Wednesdays.
Yeah, Wednesday, 7 o'clock with steak night.
Yeah.
Do you guys have an open mic night?
We don't, but we are having.
Good.
We are starting. Yeah, it's that's a dangerous thing.
Yeah. Get that up there singing that song.
We do a few different things. We do singer-songwriter nights, which we get local people like show their own talent for about half an hour. So it's kind of like an open mic.
Yeah.
But we also do That Ain't Country, and we get like different acts coming through, trying to get some jazz in there because Duke's, despite it being a honky tonk, it's got a little class to it.
Yeah.
You know, it's got some nice polished wood. You know,
Is there music? Is there music every night?
No. Every Tuesday we've got the Cold Hearts do a two-step Tuesday thing.
Oh, cool.
They do a lot of the country hits that people probably know from growing up in the 90s.
Yeah. And now is that like line dancing?
Yes. Yeah, we do. We've got a guy that comes through. He does a lot more modern poppy music.
Yeah.
That does line dancing about twice a month. Check everything, dukesindy.com. Check our website for the schedule.
This is probably not a surprise to anybody, but I don't know how to do any choreographed dancing.
I'm terrible. The bar managers tried to teach me how to Texas two-step for about 2 years now, and I'm not even to half a step
I can't even do the electric slide.
Yeah. I'm right there with you.
I think we should do a thing where we all like do kind of like a dancing thing.
Learn to dance
Yeah,
together.
dance before we're stars. Yeah.
Before we're stars.
Yeah.
Dancing with the almost famous.
Yeah.
Dancing with nobodies.
Just dancing.
Just dancing.
I have
These
said,
assholes can't dance.
I have said this. I was like, one of my goals is I want to secretly take like a hip hop dance class.
Oh, bust it out Napoleon
then-
Dynamite style.
Yeah, and then just go out one night and be like, what's Dyke doing?
Blow everybody away out of nowhere.
We should all take 3 different styles of dance.
Oh.
And then for the meat cakes, we all
do a dance
we
together.
all do our different dance. Oh yes,
Yeah.
together.
Just at 3 little. Yeah. I like
to
that.
the same song.
To the same song, and then we vote on who did the best.
Who did the best?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Bridget, get your dancing shoes on.
Yeah, Bridget has to do it too.
Yeah, this is all just a way to bring down Bridget.
Yep.
How about we just don't tell her to take the class and then we just bring it on her day of?
No, we only tell her a month ahead of time.
Yeah.
And tell her that that's when we're starting.
I'd love to see her Palestine dance. She'd probably do something like that. Bringing cultures together. What? Did I say something wrong?
No.
Okay,
can you drop a beat for me, the sauce boss? Derek, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us today. Tell the people once again where they can follow Dukes.
Yeah, dukesindy.com. Also on the Instagram at dukesindy. Yeah.
Do you have any personal thing you'd like to plug?
Nah.
Okay.
Nah, just come
Keep
up
your name
Dukes.
far away from this one.
I got nothing. I got nothing.
Daddy's Jake.
Just the chicken.
You can find me at Thad Mckee on Instagram, Twitter, or X, or Threads, or Facebook.
Zach Rowe.
You can find me at Hummus Master Indy
Yeah.
on all social media.
Casey Campbell.
You can find me teaching Thad flamenco dancing for this dance competition. You can also find me on Instagram at dangerbrewer.com.
Oh my God, Thad. Tell the people what you were drinking.
Man, I was drinking this great pedal to the kettle. I've been drinking. This is almost empty. So good. Harder Brunch. We're sponsored by Upland Beer, and we love Upland Beer. They're going to be the sponsors for our what?
Adult summer camp.
Adult summer camp.
It's not a swingers camp.
And it's not a swing.
It's not a swingers
It's not
camp.
a swingers camp.
A lot of people think it maybe is, but it's not.
A lot of people think
for grown-ups.
It's just for grown-ups. That's all it means.
They want to drink beer
Drink your Upland Beer.
and sleep with other people's wives.
Yeah, but you can. Like, we're not going to stop you from swinging. It's not prohibited. It's just not like
Right.
the main activity.
You can have sex.
You don't have to
But you don't have to have
do
sex.
that.
Consent camp.
Oh, it's a
Consent camp.
camp.
Thank you guys for listening. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.